This is a TEYUN Q16 computer audio interface. It's a 2-in, 2-out computer audio interface. It looks pretty typical. It's really inexpensive, and I bet that it's not what you think it is. Thank you to XTUGA for providing this unit for review. The Q16 is an audio interface with some unique features such as digital reverb, phone audio support, and a little special magic inside. It's a nice package. The controls feel like quality. It's an all-plastic box that looks like metal. I love the touch panel switches, and most amazingly is the price. At the time of this video, you can pick up this audio interface for less than $50. That's a fraction of the price of some competing units. As I started working with the Q16, I discovered that it wasn't exactly what I expected it to be. So stay tuned as we dive a little deeper into the operation. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, please let YouTube know with a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Now let's take a quick look at this Q16. Starting with the front panel, we have two input connectors which accept mic or line inputs. Input 1 can also be used with a high impedance source, such as an electric guitar. There's a button alongside of it that switches it to an instrument input. Dynamic mics and condenser mics that require phantom power are both supported. The Q16 does not offer outrageous mic gain, so some low output microphones like Shure SM7s may be a challenge when used with this unit. There was plenty of gain for the microphones that I used during testing. An issue that I had was that the mic cable that I was using previously and was working okay, it didn't work so well with this device, and I was getting a lot of static and hum until I swapped out that with a different cable that evidently made a better connection with the XLR connectors on the front panel of this device. And so that tells me that those connectors just might be a little bit particular. Then as we move on over to the right-hand side of the panel here, you'll see that there's a 3.5mm headphone jack. And that works as expected, but it wasn't particularly loud with my biodynamic headphones. Then as we swing around here and take a look at the back panel, on the back panel, we have two USB connectors for computer or phone. This device can act as an audio interface for a phone as well, but I wasn't successful testing that. Phone connectivity wasn't my focus, and I'm not a phone expert. There is a slide switch between these two USB connectors that selects whether or not you're using the computer or the phone, and it must be set to computer to work as a computer device. Working toward the right, we have two 1/4-inch unbalanced output connectors and a 3.5mm stereo connector for an output, and those are associated with the main outputs. On the top of the unit, we have 5 knobs. The first two are microphone gains for input 1 and 2. Beneath the gain controls are signal level and peak indicators, and I did not find these indicators to operate in a way that was actually very useful. They are labeled inputs 1 and 2, and they are not left and right. Both microphone signals are summed together and sent to both left and right channels. So you cannot use the two inputs to create a stereo recording. The gain controls work, but they feel as if you're operating a software gain control rather than directly controlling the audio. The next knob in the middle is a reverb or echo effect control. This adds a vocal effect to the microphone inputs if the effect button is enabled below. You cannot control the exact character of the reverb effect, but it might just be the ticket to enhance your amateur singers. The next knobs towards the right are the output level controls, and they control the output level to the audio system and to the front headphone jack. Then we have these 3 cool touch panel buttons, and the first one is used to enable phantom power, which would be used with professional condenser microphones. Button number 2 enables the echo or reverb effect on the microphones. And button number 3 controls a foldback function. So when you record audio on your PC, you can select whether you record just the microphones or the microphones plus whatever other audio is playing through the device at the time. So you get a mix of microphones and music. On the lower right, you'll see that there's a meter display that shows output level. And the action and behavior of these meters, I didn't think they were particularly useful. If you have the microphones that are connected to this device turned up, you will always hear them in the outputs, mixed in with whatever other music is playing. And there is no monitor mix control that allows you to adjust the relative balance between the music that you're playing and the microphone levels. And so if you want to control that balance, what you would have to do is use the computer's audio level control inside of Windows or Mac OS. Now, as for the installation on the computer, it couldn't have been any easier. All I had to do was just plug it into an available USB port. It is a Windows device natively. It does not require any additional software or drivers. My computer saw the device and it was operational immediately. I love that. It communicates with the computer at 48K and 16-bit, and that is the only option with this device. But that is a standard sample rate for video, and that's how I normally have things set anyway, so I'm okay with that. The sound quality is where things really start to get interesting with this device. There's more to this than what meets the eye. There's a lot of digital processing happening inside of the box, and I believe that I can hear it. After using this device on my computer for a little while, I had no problems with reliability, but I did find the sound to have a processed, compressed character to it, and every once in a while, very, very quietly in the background, I could hear a little occasional digital click. To me, this sounded like the device impacted the dynamics and the spatial characteristics of the stereo sound field. I'll demonstrate this by playing you a sample of music without going through the Q16 box, and then another sample of the same music after it has passed through the Q16. A casual listener may not hear any difference between these two samples, but I hear a difference, and I think if you listen carefully, you will too. Of course, it can be a little hard to judge listening to a YouTube video which has been processed by YouTube, but I think you'll be able to hear the difference between these two samples, especially on headphones.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby.
Okay, so let's talk about mic preamps. At this price point, I wouldn't be expecting studio quality mic preamps. Building a great mic preamp is still an engineering challenge. Accordingly, my expectations were met. The preamps in this device seem to have a relatively high noise floor. The Q16 preamps offer enough gain for most microphones, but I would have liked to have had a bit more gain and a lower noise floor. That's what we always say about mic preamps, and it does apply here as well. I hear digital processing on the mic preamps. The inputs appear to have some compression or limiting and are quite difficult to overdrive. There's also a curious behavior where when you stop talking or have no input into the microphone preamp for a little while, you can then hear the noise floor drop away after a few seconds. This suggests to me that there's some kind of compression, limiting, and gating on the signal that's being processed through the Q16. So I'll demonstrate this by playing back a brief recording that I did with this unit. This audio sample was produced using an Audio-Technica AT2020 condenser microphone and the Q16 audio interface. Pay attention to the sound quality and the level of background noise. The Q16 also includes a reverb or echo effect to enhance vocals, and we'll demonstrate that now. The reverb control is turned all the way down at this point, and we will engage reverb. And now you hear that there is some echo being added to my vocals with the reverb control all the way down. If we turn the control up, we get a more and more prominent effect, and at this point the control is about halfway up. And of course, if you continue to raise the reverb control, you get more and more effect. So hopefully this gives you an idea as to the kind of quality you can expect from a condenser microphone going into the Q16. Okay, so this box has some interesting processing happening within it. For music production or critical listening, I don't like that processing. The Q16 doesn't really fit my needs very well. The Q16, quite the daring choice, isn't it? It certainly possesses a unique character that sets it apart from the mundane. One might even say that it has a certain distinctive charm that is not for everyone. However, used as intended, I think the Q16 is a great device. So where do I think this product really fits in well? The Q16 offers an affordable answer to seamlessly connect and mix two professional microphones or various other inputs for your podcast or video teleconference. The Q16 makes this easy, and its built-in audio dynamics processing may be beneficial. But this device truly shines when it comes to hosting sing-along karaoke parties, creating an ideal and entertaining setting. The Q16 makes your computer karaoke party ready. Just hook up the Q16 to your computer and some powered speakers, then turn up the audio on the computer so that the music and your vocals have a reasonable balance. Crank in some echo and start the party. The integrated processing helps your vocalists sing at their absolute best. The Q16 could be a whole ton of fun that's surprisingly affordable. And if you're intrigued by the Q16 and want to learn more, click on the product link located beneath this video. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more. See you in the next upcoming video.